there's a sort of inbuilt centralism about my own denomination, and I'll name it, it's Anglicanism, which makes a lot of this talk feel even more edgy than it needs to be. Okay, so I've got a student at the moment who's working in a context where he wants to explore and has been really challenged to think in new ways about possibly the central metaphor in the Gospels for mission, which is that of hospitality. You know, what does that mean? What does that mean? And why can't the church do hospitality? And it struck me again that the things that, particularly in my denomination, become the most precious things, let's name one of them, the Eucharist or communion, is itself a sign of the hospitality of God. And yet we've made that the kind of central place that you have to get through any number of courts to get to. Whereas in Jesus' ministry, it appears to be the most, that's where porousness happens, where Jesus welcomes people into the kingdom to experience something of the kingdom around the table. And so I think that's part of what challenges the very structures that many of us work in. And it's a kind of, it is a deconstruction, but it's also a rediscovery, which I think is really exciting. I felt reading through some of these stories, there's Eucharist, there's that kind of hospitality working right at the forefront of what is going on here. And the church needs to wake up to that and say, what do you really believe in when we talk about hospitality? Because this is about the hospitality of God, which the church may be actually being quite deaf to and blind to, and we get terribly precious. I mean, I speak from my own denomination's point of view on this one, but that's a question which I live with. And does it mean for me as an Anglican to have a very high view of the sacrament of the Eucharist means that it becomes much more outward looking than I thought it was, whereas in practice for us to have a very high view of the Eucharist means that it gets closed off from most people, if you get my drift. So I think it's a central tension here, and but it's I love the way that these stories are kind of poking away at some of those precious things and causing us to rethink them.